Everyone wants to know how to zap this coronavirus, and we found the formula. Ready? Let's take a look at our cards first. The winning series, action cards, defense cards, the Joker, your Grandma Super card, the coronavirus card. Your objective: to assemble the cards for a winning series that will protect you from the coronavirus. And the first player to get all 5 cards of a winning series wins the game. To begin with, every player gets 5 cards. If you were dealt a coronavirus card at that stage, put it back in the stack and take a different card instead. Were you dealt any of the 5 cards for a winning series? Awesome! Lay them down in front of you, face up. If you got any doubles of winning series cards, keep the extras in your hand. Decide who goes first and start playing. Each round begins with the player drawing a card from the stack and then discarding a card onto the discard pile. The card you toss might be one you don't need, or an action card you've decided to use on another player or on everyone. Or if you are holding a winning series card, you can put it down face up in front of you, which counts as a discard, or keep it in your hand and discard something else. Note that if you discard a winning series card, whoever goes next can take it from the discard pile if he needs it. You decide to use a lockdown card, all the other players except you go into lockdown and cannot play their next 2 turns. But wait a second, anyone with a vital infrastructure card can move it to the discard pile and get out of lockdown. You want to use a quarantine card on someone? Discard it and say which player you are quarantining, and they lose their next turn. You feel like using a walk the dog card? You can go out for a walk in your neighborhood and take a card from someone else's winning series. You want to use a group fest card? Uh-oh, the other players have gathered in a group, which is not allowed. So one of them, except you, has to discard 1 card from their winning series. And one more rule you should know: an action card neutralizes someone else's action card of the same type. For instance, if a quarantine card is used on a player and that player also holds a quarantine card, they can discard it and cancel their quarantine. A player who cancels a lockdown card or a group fest card cancels it only for themselves, not for the group, of course. And now for the super card. You have a Grandma Super card? It's the best! It's like a Joker. So if you're missing the last card for a winning series, Grandma will complete the series for you, and you can win the game. You picked a coronavirus card from the stack. It's showtime! Put it in the middle of the table to start zapping the coronavirus. Each player, including you, chooses 1 card from what they are holding in their hand and lays it face down around the coronavirus. When the virus is surrounded on all sides, you turn the cards over. The player who put down the card with the lowest numerical value loses the round and has to throw a winning series card onto the discard pile. Note, all the cards laid down to surround the coronavirus are discarded at the end of that round, including the coronavirus card, of course. So, the player whose card had the lowest numerical value has lost 2 cards on that round. An immunity card or a Grandma Super card always zaps the coronavirus. If you have one of those, it's definitely worth using. And you can't lose on that round. But note, they can only protect you once, and at the end of the round, they are discarded along with the other cards. So use them wisely. What happens when 2 or more players lay down a card with the lowest numerical value? They both lose on that round, and both have to discard a card from their winning series. Note, if by chance all the players lay identical cards around the coronavirus, no one loses on that round, and only the cards laid down are discarded at the end of the round. Just a few more minor points. If a player is left with no cards in their hand, they take 3 cards from the stack. When the stack is emptied, the discard pile is shuffled and turned over to become the new stack. When it's your turn, you can put down no more than 1 winning series card at a time, even if you're holding another one that could win you the game. You have to wait for your next turn to lay it down. So come on, and let's zap the coronavirus!